Yo, what is up guys, it's Pedro here, and in today's video I'll be giving you guys the final update on the Jayden Daniels agent saga, and it looks like it's over and the two sides have smoothed things over and all signs are pointing to the Washington Commanders selecting Jayden Daniels with the number 2 overall pick, but not so fast, and I'll get into why in today's video. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button and that notification bell as well. We are 1 day away from the draft. I cannot wait and might be making more than one pick. Alright, so I'm going to try to make this quick because the first time I recorded this second part of the video, it got completely deleted. About to go take a test, but let's get into it. And I know a lot of people are sick of continuing to talk about either rumors or this Jayden Daniels agent drama, but some of you guys were asking about it, and I never made a video or update talking about what the agent said coming, or some of the other agents at least from that agency, kind of trying to backtrack a little bit. So I saw other people make a video about it, so we'll go ahead and do it. Let's talk about it and kind of talking about how all the signs are pointing to Jayden Daniels, at least for right now. So let me read this from Albert Breer. He says, I do think Jayden Daniels will be a Commander, and since filing that notebook, I've gotten more confirmation that the sides have talked and cleared the air. He talked, when he's saying his notebook, this is whatever this story he had for Sports Illustrated. He says, the team in the top 10 told me Monday they heard that the remaining issues between Commanders and Jayden Daniels' camp had been smoothed over, and I'm not finding many people with rival teams that don't think the Heisman winner is DC bound. So not only him saying this, but other people as well. It is a little, not concerning, but it's not great that these two sides, if he is going to be drafted to DC, that they're already having to clear the air on something. And that's not Washington's fault at all. They decided to do their meetings a certain type of way, and some prospects loved it. Like Drake May came out and, in an interview said he really liked it and he enjoyed it. And some guys like Jayden Daniels seem to not like it. And that's not confirmed. He didn't directly come out and say that, but his agents kind of hinted at it, or at least one of them did, when he liked a couple tweets saying their process was stupid, and then his quote tweet, which wasn't a big deal. It was really, I thought, the likes. But, that's overanalyzing social media. It's not only that, but the continued reports that Jayden wants to go to the Vikings or he wants to go to the Raiders. But here's the thing. Players can have preferences, and, some people are like, oh, this is similar to Caleb Williams, when Washington fans were saying, or other NFL fans were saying, Caleb should force his way out of Chicago and go to Washington. There's a difference here. Jayden isn't forcing his way. He has a preference. And I guarantee you almost every single player has at least a little bit of a preference on what teams they want to play for and don't play for. That doesn't mean they won't play for the team that drafted them. Some players want to go to a team because it's a great fit for them. They have friends on the team. They have good, connections with coaches. They want to win. They think they can get playing time, or they were a fan of the team growing up. Like, there's a lot of different reasons why a player might want to go to a team, and he has his preference. That's fine. It just, as long as it's not an issue when he gets to whatever team he goes to, that's fine. And we don't even know if this is true. I do think, he has a preference on where he wants to go, and maybe that's probably the Raiders. He has Antonio Pierce there, who we worked with at Arizona State, and, some other reasons as well. And those are valid reasons, for wanting to go to a team. But hey, he doesn't have control over that. This is the draft, this is the NFL, and he's going to be going number 2 or number 3. So unless the Raiders can trade up to that spot, number 2 spot or number 3, which probably won't happen, at least number 2 won't, then he's not going to go to that team. He's not going to go to the Raiders. He'll go to the Commanders or the Patriots, or maybe another team that goes or that trades up for 3. And this could all be smoke. It really could. And at least the part where everyone's saying Jayden's going to be the pick at 2, it really could, because you look a few years ago when the 49ers were making the pick at 3, everyone was saying Mac Jones. Adam Schefter was adamant. Other guys were adamant. And guess what? Trey Lance was the pick at 3. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind when you're saying that it's a done deal. I think that it's going to happen, but I know a lot, some Commanders fans probably think it's 90-95%. I would probably say it's like 65, and that might be a little bit conservative, but I still think that there's a chance that they've been keeping this very tight, a lot of smoke screens, and at the end of the day, they'll just take Drake May or maybe even Jayden McCarthy. I really think that is a possibility for sure. Read over some other things here. Just, talking about rumors about him wanting to go to Las Vegas or going to the Vikings, whatever. Again, I agree with this last paragraph. It's not ideal that he'd rather play for the Raiders or Vikings, but hey, it just matters what he does when he gets here. And then here he says, or Peter Schrager was on the Pat McAfee show and says, I feel like the last few days things have settled down a bit, and it sounds like Jayden Daniels to the Commanders is a lot more likely. I would put my name on him going at number 2 to Washington. So he strongly believes it's going to be him. Adam Schefter does as well. And then Kime predicted it's going to be Jayden Daniels. So almost everyone's saying it's going to be Jayden Daniels, which, hey, still might not be true. It still might not be true. And he was asked, do you want to go to Washington? Or there's speculation you don't want to go to Washington. Do you want to squash that? And he said, I'm blessed to go wherever I'm called. Whoever calls my phone when the commissioner gets up and says my name, I'll be blessed, and they're going to get my all. So there you go. There you go. That's he said that. And the reporter says, to clarify, would you be okay being drafted by Washington? He said, yeah, 100%. So is he emphatic in terms of saying that, trying to squash this stuff right here? No, not necessarily. But he said what he needed to say. He's never directly come out and say he doesn't want to play for Washington or he really wants to play for the Raiders and Vikings. So I'm not really going to, make it a big deal. And again, as long as when he gets to Washington, or it might not even be him, but if he does get to Washington, as long as he is fully committed, which I think he will be, there's no reason he's not going to be, then I think it'll be fine. And I think the Commanders will be in a good spot for sure. And I think fans just need to rally behind the quarterback, whoever it is. If it's Jayden Daniels or if it's Drake May, even J.J. McCarthy, and that will be the one where the least fans will rally around. But there's a lot of this quarterback decision is very polarizing. There's a lot of Drake May diehards, there's a lot of Jayden Daniels diehards, and there's not a lot of guys or a lot of people, that are in between the two. And I'm probably, I think I prefer Jayden Daniels, definitely as a player. I think he's better. I would take him over Drake May. This other added stuff is, interesting, but I still would take Jayden Daniels. But, I would just say once the Commanders draft whoever they draft, I would throw that aside. Whoever you really wanted to draft, whoever you wanted to draft, the Commanders draft, just put that aside and root for whoever the quarterback is, and we just all need to be behind him, because if it's polarizing right away, and that's how it usually is with Washington fans and with the quarterback situation, half of them like the starter, half of them like the backup or want them to bring in another guy. So just rally behind the quarterback, and it's important for a rookie quarterback to feel like the fan base is behind him, and that can really, really build momentum when the fan base is behind a quarterback, especially a young guy. So we just need to rally behind these guys, whether it's Jayden, whether it's Drake, whether it's J.J. McCarthy, because, it's just not great if right away his first interception, whoever the quarterback is, we should have drafted Drake May, we should have drafted Jayden Daniels, we should have drafted J.J. McCarthy. No, that should not be the first thing that come out of your mouth. Maybe in a year or two you can do that, but at least in the first season, let's just chill a little bit and let things play out and trust the guy that's making the decision, at Adam Peters, because a lot of you guys really like him, so let's go ahead and trust him. But that's it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and peace.